So we have started our topic, that is pharmacy and therapeutic committee. Okay, that we have learned how this therapeutic committee works in the hospital. What is its primary role? hmm, What is the objectives? And that we have learned in the few slides. Okay, as they are working, the advisory, educational. Okay, so in that, as the advisory function of committee, they are preparing the regulations. Okay, how the different functioning areas of the hospital, okay, how they should be worked. hmm, Regarding the drug, which kind of drug should be used in the hospital. hmm, Then during the formation of the formulary of the drug, okay, formulary of drug is what? It is nothing but the list, okay, of the drugs, those which are used in that particular hospital. Okay, so that we have learned. After that, the role of this PTC is regarding the advisory, or that is the educational next role. So in the educational, what they are doing, okay, so there are number of we can say that new things are coming into the healthcare section, or we can say that the department of hospital. Hmm? There are number of, we can say, like the sophisticated equipments are there. Okay, the new models are coming. Hmm? Some automations are done in this area also. Okay, lot more new like digital equipments are coming. Okay, so how to operate that? For that, continuous education that is required. Okay, even though in case of some practical work also, uh, they have to revise after some time, like once in a year. Okay, so they have to revise their procedure, whether somebody is uh, doing some kind of mistakes, or somebody is don't know. Okay, uh, if any steps is not done, hmm? So what kind of effect, okay, that particular mistake is going to reflect. Okay, so, and it is not like that to tell them only what the effect of their mistake will be on the patient's life and their functions. Okay, so it is also like we are giving them education through this continuous education program, that so they do their work with effective manner, and if they have any kind of queries, so they can ask over there, and also to refresh their uh, practice, or we can say like knowledge. These educational programs are conducted. Next is the drug safety and the adverse drug monitoring. Okay, so in this case, uh, if any adverse drug reaction or such kind of events are going to happen in the hospital, so what to do in that case? Okay, and also by using some drugs, okay, there is maybe the chance, okay, of getting this kind of adverse drug reaction. So how to use that drugs, okay, how to educate the patient, how to handle the situation, that things are done here. Okay, then next we have learned this organization of pharmacy and therapeutic committee. Okay, how this committee is formed. There are number of members are there, some physicians are there. Okay, pharmacist is there who is working as a secretary of the committee. He's going to conduct the meetings. Okay, the 6 meetings per year. Hmm? So to to decide the agenda for the meeting and to carry out the meeting, write the minutes of meeting. Okay, so these all things are done by the pharmacy. Okay, so this we have learned in the organization of the therapeutic and this pharmacy and therapeutic committee. So there are number of people, okay, who are working together. It is not like that one person is heading the things and the things are going to happen automatically. So it will not be happen. Okay, whenever we are working in the team, the role of each and every person is equally important. Okay, so we have to focus on each member of team. Okay, when we are performing the work in the team. So like this, only this pharmacy and therapeutic committee is working, even though they are as a committee, they are having separate roles and they are performing their function. But okay, as an individual, they are also the part of this team. Uh, so they are having their duties like pharmacist, even though it is a secretary, but he have to work as a pharmacist. Okay, so when they are doing these meetings and all, so they are getting the responsibilities of their work. Okay, so they can perform the functions. Okay, more and more effectively. So this is way. Okay, this pharmacy and therapeutic committee is going to be work. Okay, so are you getting my voice clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, screen is not visible.
It is not visible. Okay. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, so this is the, we can say like this is the function of this pharmacy and therapeutic committee. Okay. So now we are going to learn about this formulary, okay, and PTC. Okay, pharmacy and therapeutic committee and the formulary of the drug. Okay, how they are going to work combinedly and what their functions are. Okay. So whenever there is, you can say like the new drug came in market. Okay. So the physicians or the member of the committee or those who are working in the hospital, they find that the drug is very helpful and that particular drug is able to replace, okay, the drugs those who are already in the formulary. So in this case, okay, so the member or we can say like that the person from the hospital, okay, like physicians, they can submit their application to the pharmacy and therapeutic committee. Okay, the proposal of the new drug for a hospital formulary submitted on the request of the formulary to the pharmacy, and then okay, whenever there is a meeting is arranged, okay, for okay, the we have learned these 6 meetings are they are going to conduct in a year. So during that meeting, they are going to take that particular application and they are going to discuss on that. If they find these things are suitable, so the drug is evaluated and approved by the committee, and they are going to assign uh, any category to that particular drug. Okay, so actually the drugs which are going to be used in the hospital, they are divided into the 4 categories. Okay, the first is a formulary drug, second is the drug approved on conditional trials, the next is specialized formulary drug, and the last is investigational drug. Okay, so which are the formulary drugs? So the drugs which are approved by the FDA and they are uh, they are going to be used, okay, in the practice. Such kind of drug is called as formulary drug. So these are the, you can say, like the essential, okay, for the good patient care and well established usage. Means this kind of drug, okay, they don't have uh, encountered any kind of adverse effect, adverse reaction. The drug don't have any such kind of record. So this kind of drug is called as formulary drug. Okay. Next is the drug approved on conditional trials. Okay. Some drugs are approved, okay, for by the FDA for general use, but okay, the committee is going to uh, test or evaluate that particular drug for a period like 6 to 12 months. Okay, if they found the drug is suitable, okay, it is not going to show any kind of adverse reaction, then they are going to be implemented in the formula. During this time, the drug is considered as a drug approved on conditional trial. Okay, so this is the second category for the drug use. Okay, it is made by the Pharmacy and Therapeutic Committee. The next is specialized formulary drug. Okay, so what are these specialized formulary drugs? So FDA approved drug, okay, which is recommended for the use in the specialized patient care. These are the drugs, okay, they are not going to be used for all patients. Okay, so for some kind of a disease, okay, that drug is approved. Okay, so rarely used drug we can consider it. Okay, so these are not going to be used for all the patients, but these are used, okay, in case of some rare situations and rare kind of diseases. Okay, like genetic disorders. Okay, so these are the not common diseases. Okay, so these drugs, okay, to treat such kind of diseases are also uh, specialized. Okay. Next is investigational drugs. So what are the investigational drugs? Okay, these are all the four category drugs. Okay, see here. Okay, no any drug is like which is not approved by FDA. Everything is approved by FDA, and that is produced, or we can say that manufactured by the uh, pharmaceutical companies, those who are approved by FDA. So then also the pharmacy and therapeutic committee, they are not going to use each and every drug in the market. So they are going to use the selective drug in the hospital so that the patient will get their treatment with the minimum cost. Okay, so that is the aim of the pharmacy and therapeutic committee, so that they are going to try to provide the treatment on as lowest as possible the cost. Okay, so that the patient will get the benefit. Okay, it is not like that the costlier drug or the due to some standard companies are using uh, some new drugs in the market, they are launching the drug in the market. So as and when the drug is launched in the market, the formulary is going to add up. Okay, this is not like that. Most of the drugs used in the formulary are we can say it is the generic drug only. Okay, so the next is the drug which do not qualify for the four categories shall be considered as a non-formulary drug. Okay, so even any kind of drug is not categorized in these four, So that drug will be considered as a non-formulary drug, and these non-formulary drugs are not used in the hospital. Committee responsible for the rules and regulation for pharmaceutical company representatives in the hospital. Okay, so whatever the activities are there of these medical representatives in the hospital are regulated, commanded, or we can say these are controlled by the pharmacy and therapeutic company. Like the private clinics, we observe sometime patient have to wait. Okay, MRs have the priority. So these kind of situations are not in these big hospitals. Okay, they have regulated all the activities in the proper way. Pharmacy and therapeutic committee is going to supervise, observe, and going to make the rules for this kind of activities. Okay, the pharmacy department is authorized to dispense the drug according to the policies and procedure of committee. Okay, there is no any other uh, person or authority is having the right to dispense the drug. Okay, only pharmacist is having right to dispense the drugs in the hospital, and that is also it is not like uh, just on the oral or instructions. Okay, they are going to dispense the drug. They are having the rules. Okay, with the valid prescription only, they are going to dispense the drug. Otherwise, they are not going to dispense the drug. Okay, they have to maintain the proper record with the written prescription or the copy of that prescription. Okay, the any prescription, okay, which is not signed properly or not, we can consider it as a prescription, okay, without date, without sign. Okay, are you getting my voice?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so because of some call, got the interruption. Okay. The next is drug recall. Okay, so what is the drug recall? Okay, so we have heard like some companies have withdrawn their drug from market. Okay, some companies are take back their vehicles, okay, from market because of some problems, okay, in any kind of a part or the system. So similarly, if the formulary is found any drug with kind of some adverse drug reactions, okay, or some incidences, okay, repeatedly occurring in the hospital. So in such case, the pharmacy and therapeutic committee is going to recall that drug from the hospital. So the notice is given to the all department, and the drug is replaced, okay, with the substitute, and that drug is completely recalled from the hospital. So this is the role of the pharmacy and therapeutic committee. Okay, how they are going to function in the hospital. So the next is the pharmacy therapeutic committee and inpatient and outpatient department. Okay, so uh, whatever we have learned till, okay, that is related to the those which are functioning in the hospital. Okay, and the role is related to the directly, okay, the pharmacy therapeutic committee and those who are working in the hospital, okay, for them only. The next is the role is extended not only for the persons, okay, those who are working in the hospital, but they are extending their roles to the dispensing of drug, or we can say like the making the policies for inpatient department and OPD department. So what are these things? Okay, we are going to learn here. So for the patients, okay, routine drug order. Okay. So what are the routine drug orders for the inpatient department? Okay. Whenever the physicians are coming for the round, okay, we generally familiar with this process. They are going to take a round in the hospital, okay, in the morning or in the evening, and they are going to check the whatever the reports, okay, they have called yesterday, okay, or in the previous round they have suggested some test, and according to that, okay, they have given some medications. Okay, so whatever the reports of that test had came, okay, though they are going to check or analyze that report, and according to that they are going to write the next prescription, okay, for the next day. So in that prescription, okay, what they have to mention that are also instructed by PTC, like the patient name, okay, address, name of the nursing unit, okay, who is going to handle that particular patient. Then next is the name and strength of the each drug which is prescribed. Then direction and frequency of the administration, okay, when that particular drug is going to be administered. Then route of administration, okay, these all instruction is given by that doctor on the valid prescription, and signature of that physician, they have to be uh, complete, okay, with the signature, that prescription they have to be complete, and after the main things, that date and time they have to be written. So these are the instructions for the doctor, okay, when they are going to visit the or writing the prescription, okay, for inpatient uh, department. Okay, inpatient is those who are admitted in the hospital. Next is in case of the IV orders. Okay, so these orders for the intravenous medicines or the medications must be written in the same manner. Okay, and on the same prescription. Okay, they are going to write all this, and after that, the they are going to mention, okay, the exact quantity of drug, okay, how many units, okay, they have to given, okay, 2 or 3 in a day, so that they have to be mentioned. The next is exact volume, okay, not only like the IV, but uh, how much volume it should be there, like 200 ml, okay, 500 ml, 300 ml, so they have to mention all this. The next is specific direction for the administration of, like they are going to give this IV in the form of a drip. Okay, they are going to give it in the form of a bolus, or they are going to give it in the form of IV push. Okay, so they have to instruct this all in case when they are going to prescribe this like IV orders. Next is total parenteral nutrition. Okay, it is called as TPN. So whenever the patients are admitted in the hospital, they are not able to take the food. Okay, so that patient is controlled only on the, we can say that these IVs. Okay, so the IVs should contain all the requirement of like these salts and some minerals, okay, which are required vitamins, okay, so they have to be prescribed in the way that the total nutrition can be offered. So in a 24-hour supply, okay, it is to be ordered by the physician each morning. Okay, every morning the physician is going to prescribe these. Only electrolytes and vitamins, okay, they are going to be added uh, in that particular IVs. Okay, so this is about what? So this is uh, regarding this total parenteral nutrition. Okay, see why we are going to give this, because patient is not in the condition they are going to take the food. Okay, that is why to control that patient uh, with the help of only these IVs. Okay, we are using this, okay, like electrolytes and vitamins. The next is self medication. In case of self medication is not allowed to the patient. Okay, when they are admitted in the hospital, each and every time, whatever the medications are there, that should be uh, given or controlled by the those who are working, like nurses and paramedics. But in case of like these antacids and nitroglycerin tablets, okay, in case of these two only, the self medication is allowed. Okay, the dose which is required, yeah, that kept with the patient with his bedside and instructed to the patient, okay, in which kind of situation they have to take. Okay, so after these instructions only, that drugs are kept with the patient for the self medication or the self use. Otherwise, all these are controlled by the, we can say like this, paramedics. The next is a medication brought to the hospital by patient. Okay, so those who are going to be admitted in the hospital, so it is not like that they suddenly got something and they are admitted in the hospital. So most of the patients are, except this accident and the trauma cases, they are having their medication. Okay. So it is the role of PTC to decide the policies for the drug, okay, which the patient are going to bring in the hospital. Okay. Mainly these kind of drugs are, if not from the formulary, so then these kind of drugs are not allowed to use in the hospital. So the proper instruction to be given for the patients, okay, whether to use that drug or they have to stop that particular medications during they are admitted in the hospital. Next is important thing is here, okay, automatic stop orders. Okay, some drugs, okay, which are generally we can consider it as like a schedule 2 drugs, or those who are going to be act on the CNS, and those who are maybe the chance to form the addiction. Okay, for such kind of a drugs, the automatic stop orders are issued, or the drugs are issued only with the help of this automatic stop order. Okay, these orders are in the two form, like they are having of 24 hours and of 7 days. Okay, so if the drugs like uh, and these we are using like antipsychotic drug and the drugs which are acting on the CNS. So for such case of drugs, we are just using it for the 1 day only, and that are dispensed with the prescription with automatic stop order, and that are of only valid for the 24 hours. Okay, so the doctors have to uh, renew that prescription, or that they are going to rewrite that prescription every morning. Okay, some drugs like the antibiotics and all, so they are going to be have the validity of 7 days prescription. Okay, so after that, uh, okay, once the doctors are going to write that prescription, that only valid for the 7 days. Okay, after the 7 days, that prescription is going to be expired automatically. There is no any kind of need to write the remark that that particular prescription is going to be expired after 7 days. The next is discharge patient. Okay, whenever the patient is going to be discharged from the hospital, then also the PTC is going to form some rules. Okay, so they are going to collect the information of the patient, like the address of the patient. Okay, then the name of the drug and the strength. Okay, which is going to be prescribed for that particular patient. Then next is quantity to be dispensed. Okay, in how much quantity they are going to be dispensed with the patient. Next is the specific instructions, okay, which are advised for the patient, okay, while taking the drug, or to take which kind of foods and which kind of these prohibited, okay, like these kind of instructions. The next is number of refills. Okay, how many times the patient have to refill that particular prescription, that is also mentioned. Then signature of the patient and physicians, and contact numbers of the persons, okay, those who are taking care of that particular patient. Okay, this is regarding the inpatient. Okay, those who are the admitted in the hospital and got the discharge. Okay. Next is outpatient prescribing. Okay, if the patients are okay, they are generally coming for a routine visit and they are not going to be admitted in the hospital. So for this kind of patients also the rules are made by the pharmacy and therapeutic committee. So in that the hospital, okay, is going to require that the prescription to be returned for any drug or the medical supply which is dispensed for the patients, okay, those who are outpatient. Okay. Just a minute. Like, थोडा वेळात येतो. So in case of this outpatient uh, persons or these writing regarding the prescription, the information required in this case, the patient address, okay, date of the visit, okay, date of the next visit, and the name and the strength of medications, okay, whatever the uh, prescribed. Then next is quantity to be dispensed, okay, in how much quantity they are going to be dispensed that particular medicines. Then next is the specific information for the administration, if there are this specific information. Otherwise the dose are to be returned, okay, like twice a day, thrice a day, whatever is prescribed. Then the specific number of refills, okay, for how many times they have to came, okay, for the treatment of the particular same disease. And after that the signature and name of the patient and physicians, okay, both. And in the case of emergency, the contact number of that particular patient. And these things are collected for the outpatient. uh, the next is prescription, okay, for control the drugs, okay, which is having the special requirement, like all the drugs, okay, which are prescribed, they are with limited numbers. Like it is not like the drug is prescribed more than whatever the written on the prescription. In case of narcotics, okay, the orders are limited for like 5 days or 10 days. Okay, the prescriptions are not valid after 7 days. Okay, they have to claim it again. Okay, they have to uh, rewrite the prescription from the doctor. Okay, the pharmacist have to cross verify whether the prescription is fresh or like that. On that day, it is uh, rewrite or given by the physicians. Okay, if the prescription is of previous date, so it is not accepted. That person is advised to visit the doctor and uh, make the necessary required changes, like to update the date or uh, the name of that particular physician. Okay, if not given, so they have to be uh, do in this case or do in this manner, they have to be work. Okay, so in case of the drug is related to, we can say that like the narcotics, barbiturates, benzodiazepine. Okay, so in such case, so they have to be work. Or the drugs like the benzodiazepine or the cough preparations, okay, they have to be refilled in the uh, maximum 3 to 5 times. Okay, beyond that it is not refilled. Okay, so how many times it should be refilled, that also written by the physicians. Okay, then only it is refilled, otherwise it is not refilled. The patient is advised that you have to take appointment of your doctor and get the fresh prescription. The next is automatic stop order. Okay, so what is this automatic stop order? So this is not like the word indicating automatic stop. Okay, there is no any kind of digital or the electronic part is involved in this. Okay, this is just like a normal prescription. Okay, which is right on the paper, but they are having the validity in the hours. Okay, and that is why it is called as automatic stop order. Okay, some orders are like the drugs which belong the category of these narcotics, sedative, hypnotic, okay, anticoagulant, antibiotics. Okay, these are get expired after 48 hours. Okay, these orders are get expired after 48 hours. And the drug like sedative, hypnotics, okay, these are must be return, okay, on the same day only. Okay, whatever the prescription is of written yesterday, okay, even though it is written in the morning or evening, that doesn't matter, that is the expired prescription. Okay, so if that doctor is written the prescription at the, we can consider it like 9 p.m., so the patient have to immediately take the drug from the pharmacy and they have to take that particular drug on that day only. Otherwise, that order is going to be expired automatically. Next is uh, the role of PTC in the developing emergency drugs. Okay, so whenever the any emergencies occurred in the hospital, so for that emergency to handle, okay, so doctors have to uh, there is a no any kind of efforts, extra efforts, okay, required. Okay, so the emergency drug list is prepared, and that emergency drug list, uh, the box, okay, like we have this first aid box. Okay, like the same, the hospital is having the emergency kit, and that emergency kit is kept in the different location of that hospital. Okay, so that what will happen if any kind of emergency is came, so doctor will take that emergency kit and they can operate that patient there only. Okay, so it is not like that they have got the emergency in the porch and they have to bring that patient to, okay, the first or second floor in the ICU, or we can say that this operation theater. Okay, so okay, they will do that after the complete, or we can say that the manage, after the managing of that emergency, they can shift that patient wherever they want. Okay, but while handling this emergency, they need some emergency supplies with them, okay, of the drugs. Okay, so to handle this emergency, they have to use this emergency kit, and that emergency kit are mm, advised, or what should be there in the emergency kit, that is made or the advised by this pharmacy and therapeutic company. Okay, once it is decided what should be the content of this emergency kit, okay, the next is it is the responsibility of the pharmacist. Okay, they have to uh, collect, okay, all the uh, drugs, okay, which should be there in the emergency kit, and they have to be prepare that kit and kept, okay, whatever the locations they have decided, okay, like the premise, or the parking areas, or the porch, wards. Okay, so in such case they have to keep this emergency kit. Okay, so this is like the example, okay, what should be there in the emergency kit. Okay, like there are different kind of syringes, okay, of 1 ml, 2 ml, up to 10 and 20 ml syringe. Needles, okay, 16, 18, 20, 21, 23 numbers. Okay, then there are some different kind of ampules, bandages, airway equipment, Ray's tube. Okay, these kind of the necessary equipments are there, and here you will get a list of number of different kind of drugs in the emergency box. Okay, so this is the content of this emergency box, so that the doctors can easily able to handle these emergencies. Okay. The next is role of PTC in the drug safety. Okay, are you getting my voice?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here, okay, we are going to learn the last point of this topic, that is the role of the pharmacy and therapeutic committee in the drug safety. And after that, there is one short point, that is adverse drug reaction. Okay. So how the pharmacy and therapeutic committee is going to handle, or going to play their responsibilities in the case of uh, drug safety. So the drug safety, we can consider it is the major responsibility area of the hospital pharmacist. Okay, so whatever the drug is dispensed, it is from the pharmacist. So he have to take responsibility of that. Okay, the increased responsibilities also include the moral and legal, okay, professional obligation. Okay, like only somebody is of his uh, knowledge, identity, so that particular person or a friend or relative, okay, he don't give any drug without any prescription to any person. Okay, so this kind of some moral responsibilities there of the pharmacist. Okay, they cannot give any drug without any prescription. Okay. The next is hospital must employ qualified staff. There is staff, it is not a stuff. Okay. As a chief pharmacist, okay, uh, which is having education at least the degree. Okay. Hospital should not permit non-pharmacist personnel uh, for the dispensing of the drug. Okay. The hospital must employ sufficient number of qualified personnel for considering their workload. Okay. How many pharmacists should be there? Okay, going to be work in that particular pharmacy. So that should be considered by their workload, and that uh, number should be assigned. Okay, it is by using the simple logic. Okay, if the hospital is working for the 24 hours, so they have at least three pharmacists with the shift. Okay, so on the day, if there is workload is more, so in the day shifts there should be two or more than two pharmacists they are going to be appointed. And at the time of third shift, okay, in the night or the second shift, they are going to vary their number of pharmacists as per the load, okay, workload. Hospital must provide the adequate safe workspace, okay, for the uh, not only the pharmacist but also every uh, like department. Pharmacists should have equipment necessary, okay, to safety and adequately carry out the uh, modern practice of pharmacy. Okay, so these printers, computer, okay, these all should be there. The hospital must have an automatic stop order regulation for dangerous drugs that should be implemented everywhere, but still these are the practice are done only in the uh, developed countries, not in India. Yet that is also started. The hospital should have the drug formulary with periodically revised and keep up to date. Okay. This is the very important thing, but I also not observed any hospital. Okay, the formulary, the position, the poisonous drugs and material. Okay, should be uh, adequately separated from the non-poisonous material. Okay. The next is the external use preparations should be separated from internally used. So these are the we can say that like instructions how to use these drugs in the ward. Okay. So these are the instructions for the nurses. The next is the nursing drugs. Okay. Statistics should be periodical. They have to call the nursing drugs statistics. Okay, how many drugs they have used in this week. Okay, how many stock is with them. Okay, so when to be that stock is we can call it as uh, renewed. Okay, so that these are the we can say these instructions are for the paramedic or these nurses, ward boys, okay, those who are working there. The instructions these are given by or advised by pharmacy and therapeutic committee. After that, the last point of this topic, that is the pharmacy and therapeutic committee in case of adverse drug reaction. Okay, how they are going to handle the adverse drug reaction if any is occurred in the hospital. Okay. So nowadays, we can say that the drug therapy, okay, it's become complex, okay, due to increase in the uh, number of drugs, okay, and this polypharmacy, okay, number of drugs are given to that patient, okay, to control one disease or situation. So these adverse drug reactions are the problems, okay, they are occurred due to the drug interaction, drug food interactions, okay, and that when given to such kind of a drugs, okay, there is a possibility of adverse reaction. So that are advised by the patient also. Okay, to in case of such kind of evidences, you have to call to the doctors. Okay, the pharmacy and therapeutic committee, okay, therefore going to issues guidelines for the reporting system. Okay, if any kind of such kind of incidents is occurred in the hospital, okay, so immediately they have to be reported. Uh, then the all the situation and the symptoms severity that is going to be understood and that should be recorded. Okay, every case of the adverse reaction must be first reported and then attended by the physicians to the chairman of this pharmacy and therapeutic committee. Okay, after the this attending that particular person, the physician should not provide the should provide. Okay, it is duty of physician, okay, to provide the complete treatment for this adverse reaction, and then going to call, okay, like drug controller, okay, or these uh, general drug controller general of the India, okay, then postgraduate institute, okay, so they have to uh, call or they have to report to there. So they have got some in case of any adverse drug reaction, they need any help, then they have to take help from this postgraduate institute. And as a procedure, they have to contact, okay, with this drug controller general of India to report, okay, that particular situation, okay, by using which kind of drug they have to got this kind of adverse drug reaction or with a interaction with the food. Okay, so DGCI is going to not DCGI is going to advise to all. Okay, like in this case, okay, you have to use this. Okay, like in this COVID, we have got many instructions or the guidelines. Okay, even we are not the part of this healthcare system, then also that things are advised. Okay, everyone. Okay, you have to take the both the dose of vaccines. Okay. Then many drugs are take back during this treatment, like remdesivir and all. Okay, those who are primarily used as it is the prophylaxis drug for the treatment of this COVID. But after, okay, some reviews, they come to know that, okay, there is no use of this, so they have stopped the use of this uh, remdesivir. Okay, so this kind of things or developments came out, okay, when they are going to be reported in the proper manner. So this is what, so this is the role of particular system which is working in the hospital, and that is, we can say that it is the role of the pharmacy and therapeutic committee. Okay. So this is of about the today's session. Okay, so I will stop this sharing here.